Hello everyone, welcome. So this is the day 2 of Oops. So in the previous video, we have discussed about so what is Oops, what is class, and what is an object. Clear? And also we have discussed in detail how they are going to do it, like how they are gonna work and everything. Clear? So let us start with the next thing. So in this video, we gonna discuss about so how to how memory allocated with respect to class and objects. Clear? Now that is important. Okay, with respect to I can say class and objects. Along with that, we are going to discuss about how to create objects. Done. And also we are going to discuss about I can say class members and their implementation. So these things we are going to cover in this video. Okay, if you understand this video, then I can say almost base of Oops is going to be covered, so let us start with this. Okay, so in this previous video, like in the given previous video, so we have discussed about how the class is going to be created. Let us recap. See, if you want to create a class in Python, you need to use a keyword called what? Class followed by class name. That is what you need to do it, isn't it? Then I told you to write here what? Pass keyword. That's what we have discussed, isn't it? Okay, fine. So next what you are going to learn is so how memory will be optimized, how memory will be allocated. Now you see, whatever you are writing a code, now this will be some block which occupies memory from your system. How it will be allocated, everything we are going to discuss it. Okay, fine. Now understand. See, whenever I create one class, please understand. So whenever I create a class, like class, then afterwards I'm creating a laptop. Okay, so laptop, then just what I'll do, I'll give a pass. Now what happens internally, interpreter, how it executes. Now what happens internally is whenever you create a class in Python, what happens? A dedicated memory will be allocated. Okay, so memory will be allocated for this class. So that memory I'll be calling it assume that this is the memory. Okay, now this memory looks like your dictionary, like it will be having key and value. Done. Key and value pair, it is going to have it. Okay, so let me draw it properly. Done. Now this memory block will be having an address that will be given to laptop, and don't worry that what is 0x11, just a random address which I'm giving for what? Laptop. This is what happens. Then the memory will be allocated. If any members are available, those all members are going to store inside this memory. Clear? And we are going to understand how it is going to be implemented and everything. That's what. Now see, remember, every time this is what happens. Now see, whenever you create another class, like class I'm creating book. Okay, whenever you create a class book, then if you tell pass empty, then what happens internally? It creates one block with the name called book. Okay, then you'll be having an address 0x21, now which will be carrying key and value. I'll tell you what is that. Okay, now you can see it's completely empty. Then this is what empty is. Okay, this is what happens whenever you create a class. Fine. Now after this, now next thing is we are going to understand what class consists of. Okay, I can say I want to explain this, what class consists of. Done. Okay, so previously I gave you a brief information about it, but I have not covered in detail. Clear? So in this video we are going to cover about this. Now see, whenever you create a class, something like class followed by class name you are creating. Done. Now what you can put here, as I previously told you, you can put variables. Exactly, you are going to put variables as well as what? Functions. That is what you are going to do it. But how you can, which kind of variables and everything, we are going to discuss in this video. Suppose, as I told you, whenever you create class followed by class name, done. Now this is what block. Now this block, let me divide, it consists of variables. Done. Now this is what another block, it consists of functions. That's what. Now if I talk about these variables, now these variables are of two types. In your class you can put two types of variables or three types of variables, sorry. So first one are nothing but class variables. See what these everything we are going to discuss. Okay, these all things we called as members of class. Okay. Second type of variables are nothing but object variables. Clear? I am going to call them as an object variables. Then third type of variables I will call them as static variables. Clear? So if I talk about variables inside a class will be of three types. Either first one is a class variable, second one is an object variable, third one is static variables. Then if I talk about functions, functions are of two types. One is same like class functions or class methods. Functions are also called as methods, are also of three types, sorry. Okay, class methods I can say. Next one is nothing but object methods. Then third one is nothing but static methods. Clear? So your variables and methods are also three types. Sorry, variables are of just two types. Okay, so we don't have static variables. Okay, so I can say we don't have static variables, just we are having object variables and class variables. Done. This is what now inside a class. Okay, if you observe now it can have, as I told you, variables and functions. Okay, if I talk about variables, those belongs to two categories. Either it will be a class variable or it will be an object variable. Okay, now how we can understand is it a class variable, how we can understand it is an object variable, I'll give a clarity regarding that. Okay, now if I talk about the functions, functions are of two types. One is class methods, another one is object methods, and last one is what? Static methods. Clear? So total three types of methods we are gonna have it. Okay, so that's what. Now let us understand step by step. Let us understand step by step about class variables. Okay, so let us understand a class variable. Just give an introduction. See, class variables, if I talk about this, see, what do you mean by class variable in general? See, any variable which you create inside a class is a class variable. Okay, in the sense, assume that I am creating class called area. Done. Now in this I'll tell pi is equals to 3.14. Then now you see pi, it's nothing but we have created one variable. Now see, whatever the variables you defined here inside the class, automatically this variable we called as class variable. That's all. This is a class variable. Done. Now what is the benefit of being a class variable? Okay, if any variable is a class variable, what is the benefit? The benefit is simple. Okay, so it will be common. I can say it will be common for all the objects. It will be common for all the objects. Clear? It will be common for all the objects, in the sense whatever the objects you are gonna create, for everyone this variable remains same. That is what class variable is. Okay, now question comes, how we can create it? Now as I told you, directly you define inside a class, or we can have an option to create. Okay, so we can say creation of a class variable. Okay, class variable. How we can create a class variable? That you can do it in two ways. Okay, so first one is directly define it while creating a class. Okay, directly I can say define while creating a class or creation of a class. Then second one is nothing but by using class name. By using what exactly? Class name. That is how you are going to create. So let us understand first. We'll see, like I think everyone got the clarity. See, class variables are the variables I can say which are defined inside the class. Any variable, I can say any variable defined inside a class or defined where inside a class, we call them as class variables. Fine. And we have another benefit of class variable. Those will be common, in the sense those will be shared for all the objects. Okay, then we are discussing about how to create. Now question comes, how to create them. Now if you want to create a class variable, you can create in two ways. First one is nothing but directly defining while creation of a class itself. Second one is nothing but by using a class name. What is that? By using a class name. Then how to create this? That is what we are going to understand. Okay, so let us go to the code now. Let us go to VS Code and I'll show you. See, now I have mobile. Now assume that I want to create variables inside a mobile, or let it be. So let us go with one same example, whatever we have used. Okay, Done. So let us create class I'll say area. Okay, so that is what the class I've created. Now I want to create pi. See, pi is equals to, I'll be telling that 3.14. Done. That's all, guys. If you run this, now already pi has been allocated inside what area. Now if I want to show you this, so I can show this particularly. So assume that you want to understand memory allocation and everything. Okay, there is a site called, okay, Python tutor. Okay, you can go with this Python tutor. You can go with this on this particular site. You can see this is what the site, which will allow us to trace the code properly. Okay, yeah, fine. Start visualizing. Just you can click it. Okay, fine. Just you give it, then you click on visualize the code. Okay, and you need to enter next. See now global frame. Okay, so global frame, in that area is allocated as I told you. This is a class area. Area is carrying an address of that area. Now you see there is a variable called what, pi, whose value is 3.14. That's all. Now you see this complete area is pointed by what, class name. That is what I told you. Okay, so let me come here. Now you see here what I told you. Okay, now that is what the area. Okay, pi something, it is looking like this actually. See, so you are having pi, okay, who is pointing to 3.14, like this it has been. Okay, now this complete area is pointed by laptop, something like that. Done. So this is what, how, which is going to be present there. Now next thing is, now question comes, like we have created, now this is what one way. If you want to create in another way, suppose if you want to create in another way, as I told you, second way, by using class reference, how you can create, just you define an empty class. Now what you have defined here, empty class, you can check it out. Now after defining a empty class, now what I will do, okay, so as we know that, see, okay, so whenever you create a class, okay, we know that all, whenever I create something like class followed by class name, okay, then pass, if I give, what happens now, it creates an empty block, right? The same way, suppose I told that class, so what is the class I told, area, but it is empty. Now what happens here, now a block is going to be created with key and value paste. Now this will be pointed by whom, now area. This is empty block. Okay, now this is what which has been going to be created. Okay, now assume that I want to put something inside this block. Just can I say, if I want to reach to this block, in the sense, can I use the name now here? Yes, you can use that name. So that's the reason what I'll do, I'll say now area dot. Okay, so I'm telling that go to the area, inside that dot is nothing but inside. Okay, dot, I'll create one variable called pi with a value called 3.14, like this you can define it. Okay, so that is what I'm going to do. I can say, so area dot, I'll be telling pi is equals to 3.14. Done. That's all. Now whenever you execute this much, okay, now it is going to be created. Okay, so let me show you visually how it is going to be. See now, let me go here. Okay, let me paste here. Now you can see class area pass I have given. So let us visually understand. Okay, see, now this red line is nothing but the line next to be executed, green line is nothing but just executed. Now see, whenever I create, you can see complete empty class which has been created. Now after this line to be executed, right, area dot pi is equals to 3.14. Now let us execute this. Now you see, whenever this line executed, in that block, okay, pi 3.14 has been stored. Clear? Now this is how you can create variables, and that to which variables, class variables inside the class. Clear? So there are two ways to create class variables, either by using a class name or by using what, directly defining inside the class. Done? Okay, fine. So as you understood the class variables, okay, so directly we know that how to create also. Then if I talk how to access, done, how to access them now. Clear? If you create a class variable, how to access them? Suppose assume that, okay, so here I have created the class variable. Now assume that I want to do some operations outside of the class now. How to access it? Okay, here I want to print it. Suppose if I say print pi, okay, suppose if I say print pi, what I'm getting now? Name error. So it says that name pi is not defined. Exactly, pi is not defined, but pi is defined where? Inside one area. Okay, so I can say pi is defined where? Inside one area. Now can I go to that area? Yes. What is the area name? Sorry, what is that location name? Location name is the area, so a bit confusing because I'm using that area in this area. Okay, fine. What is the location name? Area. So can I say that area dot pi once again? Yes, I can say area dot pi. What I'm getting now? 3.14 exactly. Okay, so I can say if I want to access, okay, I can say if I want to access class variable, then we need to use class name. What do you want to use? Class name. Now, what is the syntax for it? It will be, syntax will be, I can say class name dot variable name. That's all. Done. Class name dot variable name. You can use it and you can do any task. You can do any task. That's what I'm telling you. Clear? Okay, so let me make it clear once again how to access them. Okay, so let me explain you clearly. See how to access exactly. Now assume that I have created class called laptop. Done. Then assume that it will be having name is equals to something ABC. I'm gonna give it. Okay, it will be having price called, okay, 1 2 3. Now you tell me these variables, what these variables belongs to, either they belongs to class or object. Exactly, those belongs to class itself. Those are not belongs to object, because we don't know how the object variables are created. We know only what, how the class variables are created. That's all, right? That is what. Now see, now whenever I create, now what happens internally, a block will be allocated. Okay, block name is what, laptop. Okay, now it is what, key and value pairs. Then we have a key. What is the key we are having now? Name. For the name we have stored what, ABC. Then we are having another key called what, price. For that we have stored what, 1 2 3. This is how it is going to be stored. Now if I want to access them directly, you can't say no. See, directly you are writing code here. Now you are writing outside. If I say directly print if I say name, okay, or if I say please do print price, okay, it will never be accessed, right? It will go and search here, no, nothing here. It will also go and search here, nothing, because those are sit inside one block. Now if you want to access them, you need to use that block. That is what. Now this is a wrong approach to access them. Then how we are going to access? Just you can say print. Okay, so what is that? Name directly we can't use. So what do you want to say? Now you should have to say laptop dot name. Clear? The same way, if you want to print once again price, then you need to say what, laptop dot price. This is how you are going to access it. Then it is going to provide. Now what you are telling now, laptop is nothing but it is in a block. In that block you get me the name. It will search for the name. Do you have any name? Yes. What is the name you are having now? Name is carrying ABC. It returns you ABC here. Clear? Same thing. Suppose if I say laptop dot price, it will go to the laptop and it will search for the price. Is there any key called price? Yes. What is the value it is carrying now? 1 2 3. That is what it provides. Now you are going to get ABC and 1 2 3 like this. This is how it works. This is how you are going to access class variables. Done? Fine. This is how we are going to access class variables, and let me show you. See, assume that I'll create another class. Class. What is the class we are creating? Laptop. Then let us provide a name is equals to Lenovo. That is what I'm providing. Okay. And then let us provide price is equals to 1 2 3 something. See, I'm giving. Now you tell me these variables are what type? Can I say these variables are of class variables? Isn't it? We are not discussed about object. We don't know exactly. Correct or not? Yes, these are class variables. Then next what happens now? If you print, okay, laptop, then it's in a class address which is available. See, that is what we are getting. The next what? If I want to get a name, directly if I print name, then what you are going to get? Tell me the result. What is the result? If you do like this, what you will get now? Error. Because it is not available. But it is available inside a laptop. That is what you need to tell. And common sense, guys. Okay, name can be present for different classes also. I'll show you that example also. Suppose if I do it, now what I'll get? Name is not defined. Then how we are going to get it? If you want to get it, just, okay, so let it be. Same thing. Let me comment this out. Okay, so I'll say, if you want to get that, so I can say print. So how to get it now? Laptop dot name. Laptop dot what? Name. That is what we are going to provide it. Now we are getting Lenovo. And one more example I want to show you. Assume that you are having multiple classes. Class mobile also I have. Then let us say mobile also having a name. Name is equals to, okay, Apple. Something we are going to provide. Assume that we are going to take this code, or we are going to take this another class here. Okay, so I'm going to put here. Done. Now how many classes we are having now? 2 classes. Now this is what. Now we are having 2 classes. If I say print name, you tell me which name you are going to ask. That will be the question mark, right? That's the reason it will search here in the global scope. It will not be available. That's the reason what we want to do. We need to provide complete address of it. Now see, name is not defined. We are getting it. Then how we are going to get it? Simple. If you want mobile names, just you need to provide what? Mobile dot name. That's all. So let us run it. What are we getting now? Apple. Suppose if you want, okay, laptop, something laptop, we can say laptop name. Then we can say laptop dot name. That is how we are going to provide it. Clear? Now we got it. So we can define multiple classes also. We don't have any problem with respect to it. Done. This is how you can fetch. Okay, and you can create. Done. If you know fetch and create, directly you can update also. If you want to update directly, you can't update. No, suppose. So there will be a question. Okay, so the question will be like, if I create and if I put a value by mistakenly, assume that I want to change a value, then how we can do it? Yes, you can do it. Assume that I'm creating a class. Fine, I'll create a class laptop. Now during initially, I told name is equals to none I given. I don't know what is the name to be given. Later on, okay, fine. Later on, okay, after creation, you got to remember that how, okay, name, I want to use something. Then how to be done? Directly you can use. What you are going to use? Directly you can say laptop dot name. You provide whatever the name. Now this name will be updated inside what your memory. That is how it works. Got my point? Okay, the same way you can update. Now I can say this is what, which is already created. We are updating it once again. I hope you understood. Okay, this is about your class variables. Which variables? Class variables. Now next, let us understand about object variables now. Okay, so let us understand about object variables. Okay, fine. What do you mean by object variables? Okay, so object variables are nothing but I can say these are the variables. Okay, these are the variables which belongs to object. What they are going to be? They belongs to what? Object. In the sense they will not never be belongs to class. They will be belongs to what? Object. And okay, those value will be, I can say those value will be different. Okay, value will be what? Different from one object. Okay, those value will be different from one object to another object. Okay, those value will not be same always. That is what. Okay, now let us understand. Before this, okay, we have not discussed how to create an object. Simple. Before this, we need to understand how to, okay, create an objects. We need to have a clarity regarding this. Now how to create an object? Simple. See, if you want to create an object for a class, assume that I am having class X. Now you want to create an object for this class, okay, whatever it may be. Just you should have to tell, okay, X of. What do you need to tell? X of internally. That's all. Then you can store to any name here. You can give any name. Okay, that is what variable name. In the sense we are telling that I am creating a copy of a class. Okay, that is what X of is nothing but it will tell copy of a class. That's all. Now this is the only syntax to create an object. Okay, always remember you need to call a class. You need to call a class. Then automatically object will be created. And I will tell you what happens when you create an object and everything now. See, assume that. Okay, so I will create an object for the class called Lenovo. So assume that class I am having Lenovo. Done. Okay, then let us say it is pass. Okay, now what I'll do, I want to create an object for it. Okay, I can say L is equals to Lenovo off. That's all. Okay, so I have created how many objects now? One. If you want to create multiple, just you can repeat this syntax a number of times. So this is L1. Assume that I'll say L2 is equals to Lenovo off. If you want to create third one, you can say L3 is equals to Lenovo off. Done. Now what happens? Let us understand how it works and everything. See, whenever you say Lenovo off, Lenovo, we know that a block will be created for the class now, which is empty now as of now. Now that will be given to Lenovo. Now whenever you tell Lenovo off, whenever you create an object, now copy of this class, complete copy will be given to an object. Okay, L1 will be carrying a dictionary of Lenovo. Done. Then same thing, once again if you create, L2 also will carry dictionary. So I can say key and value. Same copy will be shared. Okay, same if you create another object, L3 which carries complete same class dictionary. This is what happens. If any attributes are present, if any members are present here, those will be shared for all the objects. Okay, that is what happens here. Understood? So this is how, okay, this is what happens when you create an object. Assume that. Now let me go with the scenarios. So what is the scenario? So we are having class Lenovo. Done. Then we told name is equals to XYZ. We told name as XYZ. Done. Then after this, I told L1 is equals to Lenovo off. Okay, I told L2 is equals to Lenovo off. Done. Now how many objects I have created? 2 objects now. What happens internally? We are going to understand. See. Now first a dictionary will be created with key and value for Lenovo. Done. Now this is what memory is. Okay, now there will be one key called name whose value is XYZ. This is for only Lenovo. Okay. Now whenever it executes and comes here, you are telling that Lenovo off need to be pointed by L1. In the sense, okay, Lenovo off, create an object. So key and value pair. Okay, this complete thing will be shared here. Now you are going to get name here. But instead of XYZ, you will get an address. A1, I am telling it as A1. So what is that A1? A1 is an address, okay, for XYZ. Okay, A1 we are going to give it. Then after this, done. Now this will be pointed by L1. Same thing for L2 also. Another key value pair will be created, name, and it will be shared by A1. That's all. This is what happens. Clear? That's what I told. Any variables which you create inside a class is a class variable which are shared for all the objects. Done. Now you tell me each object is a different now. Okay, each object is a different container. So that if you want to create a variables in the sense, you should have to go with respect to different containers, so that object like variables you are going to create it. Now assume that. See, if you create any variable inside a Lenovo, that will automatically shared for L1 and L2 also. Now also it can be shared. But if you create only inside L1, it will never be shared for what? L2, and it will never be shared for what? Lenovo. Same thing, if you create only inside L2, that will never be shared for L1 and it will never be shared for Lenovo. Okay, so if you are creating with respect to objects, those variables only we call them as what? Object variables. Those variables only we are going to call them as what? Object variables. That's all. Okay, suppose understand, I want to create an object variables. Fine, I am having class laptop, I will take it. Okay, then I will say pass. Okay, I want to create object variables. Just let us focus it. Okay, now I want to create an objects. I can say L1 is equals to, I will be telling it as laptop off, and let us say L2 is equals to also laptop off. Now how many objects are created? Please do answer me. 2. Okay, so let us create a memory for this. First, a dictionary will be allocated for Lenovo. That will be key and values, and that will be given by the name called what? Laptop. Does it has anything? No. See, completely empty. That's the reason we left it as empty. Now, if you come to this line, you are telling laptop off is nothing but you are creating a block for L1 also. Now it will derive from here. I can say key and values. Now this is what? L1's block now. Now same thing after creation, then it goes to another something you are going to see here. Now another block will be created with what? Key and values. Now this will be L2's block. Now which is empty now. 2. This is what? Empty has been created. Now you tell me. See, you can see 3 different areas. One is laptop area, another is L1 area, another is L2 area. Okay, but remember, okay, class always shares everything with respect to objects. If anything you do with respect to class, it will be shared for L1 as well as L2 also. Clear? In the sense, if I say, okay, laptop dot name is equals to ABC. If you create inside the class, now I am telling that name is ABC. We told that. Now you tell me, anything which you create with the class name is a class variable. Now you have created a class variable. Then automatically it will be shared for objects. Okay, if you write this line, automatically it will be okay working. So you will get name here, and whose value is what, a1. I'll give a random address, and here also it creates name whose value is a1. That is what how it works. Done. Now whenever you print, now you check out, see what I'll do, I'll say please do print, okay, laptop, see multiple things I'll say, laptop dot, I'll say name, which is fine. Then I will say L1 dot, go to L1 dot name. Okay, now L2 dot name, if I say, now every time all the times you will get what, ABC as a result. How come? Laptop, it has a name, that's the reason it prints. L1 dot name, yes, it derived actually. What is that A1? A1 is pointing to what? ABC. You will get ABC. L2, same example I'm going to show you. Okay, so let me come here and let us write a code now. See, what I'll do, I'll create class laptop. Then what I will do, I'll say name I'll not create. Let us create empty as of now. See, empty I'm creating. Okay. Same thing, I'll create L1 is equals to, I'll be telling it as what, laptop of. Same L2 is equals to, once again I'll say it as what, laptop of. Now you tell me how many objects are being created. Can I say 2 objects? Done. Now after this, if you print, assume that, see, print laptop dot name comma L1 dot name. Okay, so I'm printing in one line only, L2 dot name. Done. This is what I've done. Now obviously you'll get an attribute error. What it says, type object laptop. Yes, laptop has no attribute. Attribute is nothing but variable. Has no attribute called what? Name. This is what I'm getting. Clear? 100% correct. You will get an error. Okay, so same error you will get with L1 and as well as L2 also. Okay, if you don't try that, you can check it out. Clear? You can check with respect to it. Assume that I'll comment this. Okay, after this what I'll do, I'll say, okay, please go to the laptop dot create one name with ABC as a value. Then you try to print it. Now see, same line I want to execute here. Try to print it. Now whenever I do it, now what I'm getting now, ABC. See, where I have created only inside a laptop. But am I getting with respect to L1 or not? Am I getting with respect to L2 or not? That is what about the class variables. Now you tell me, actually which variable I have created? Class variable. Exactly. Now this is the class variable, and this variable will be shared with respect to all the objects. That is what I want to tell you. Got my point? Yes. This is a class variable. Then what about non-object variables? Object variable is nothing but you create with respect to that object. Now assume that I will create with respect to only L1. Okay, so how to create it? Just you say L1 dot price is equals to 100. That's all. Now same line, if you write here, okay, Lenovo dot price, you will get an error now. Lenovo dot price, if you print it, you will get an error. Obviously, how come? You go to the Lenovo, is there any price? No. Then what will get? Error. Same thing, suppose if I say print L1 dot price now, you will get a result. Yes, go to the L1, you are telling, okay, so price which is being created now, price it will be here with the value called 100. Now you are telling price, yes, it prints. Same, suppose if you tell print L2 dot price, now you will get once again error. You have created only with respect to L1, you have not created with respect to L2. That's the reason you will get an error here. I hope you understood. This is how it works. Okay, so let me show you here now. See, okay, so we are created now. So what I'll do, I'll create now L1 dot price is equals to 1, 2, 3 I'm giving. Fine. Suppose if I say please print Lenovo, okay, dot price, sorry, what is that, laptop, okay, in this case laptop, sorry. If I try to do this, obviously I'll get an error now. See what it's saying once again. Can you understand the error? Type object laptop has no attribute called price. Yes, it is not available. We are getting error here. Okay, so let us say we are getting error. Let me copy paste this. Done. We are getting this error. But the same thing, if I tell please do print L1 dot price. Okay, so I'm going to say L1 dot what I want now, price I want. Fine. If you do this, now you can see. Sorry, syntax error. Now, what I'm getting? 1, 2, 3. Can I say it's so simple? I can say 1, 2, 3. But the same way, if you tell once again print L2 dot price. Okay, now this time once again you will get an error. What is that? Laptop object has no attribute price. Obviously price is not available inside L2 because we have not created. We have created only with what? Object. That's all. Now these variables only we call them as an object variables. And those object variables will be different from one object to another object. Okay, that is also important. Whenever you are creating an object variable, make sure that you are going to create with respect to all the objects. Clear? Then only it will be created with respect to the objects. Okay, if you create with respect to only one object, it will never be present for another object. Those kind of variables only we are going to call them as an object variables. I hope you understood. That's all. Now you tell me, obviously we will get an error. Then what about class variables? Yes, class variables will be shared. Object variables will never be shared. Those will be defined only with respect to objects. And those data will be changed from one object to another object. That is what I told. See, read this. These are the variables which belongs to object. Exactly, they are going to belong to only object itself. But the next thing, what is the next point I had to say is, those values will be different from, exactly, those will be different from one object to another object. If you want for all the objects, you should to define it, then only it is going to work. Clear? That is how it works. Fine. Now you will be having a question. What if, okay, so you will be having a question. What if class variable and object variable names are same? Okay, object variable names are same. Obviously override. Obviously, what is the answer? Override. Now how come? Let me show you. Obviously answer will be what? Override. Now let us understand. See, assume that I am having class Lenovo. Okay, or laptop. Let us take a class called laptop. Okay, so I am taking a class called laptop. Now here I will tell one variable called what? Price is equals to 1, 2, 3. Now you tell me which variable I have created here. Now this is a class variable. Done. Okay, now let us create an objects for this. Now shall we create an objects for this? Yes, we can create it. How to create? L1 is equals to, just I can mention laptop of. Can I create another variable? Yes. L2 is equals to laptop of. Now how many variables are created? We have created two variables. How many objects are created? Two objects we have created. So let me put a diagram for this fast. Now see, whenever this code executes, like memory diagram putting, what happens? You are created key and value. You are having price as 1, 2, 3. Then this will be having an address 0x1, which will be given for what? Laptop. This is how it works. Done. Now whenever you create an object like this, it is going to be L1, automatically it derives key and value, then automatically it derives what it derives now, price as A1. Let us put an address for this value A1. Same L2 also, okay, automatically it derives key and value, then it will be taken as what? Price as A1. Now you see L1 and L2 are having a price. Okay, so what if we change? Suppose if I tell L1 dot price I will make is equals to 1000. Change it. Done. Now you tell me, if you change price with respect to whom you are changing? L1. It will change for only L1. It will never be affecting for what? L2 and laptop. So you are telling go to the L1, change the price. You are telling that 1000. Done. Now the connection has been lost now. Khatam. The price is present inside only L1. Now this is going to be changed. But still I can say L2 price is pointing to A1. Now it remains same. Clear? That is how it works. Okay, so let us understand this also now. See, assume that I'll take a new example. See, let us create class. Okay, there is a class I'm taking student. Let us take name as initially I given it as none. Okay, fine. Class wise I have created one variable called what? Name. But that value will be none for all the objects. Now suppose if I say S1 I'm creating, S1 is equals to I'm creating one student of. Done. The next S2 is equals to, let us create student of. We have created it. Done. Then next what I'll do, I will change. Okay, S1 dot student name. Okay, S1 dot I will say name. So first let me print it. Okay, so let us print everything. Let us print what I want to print now. Okay, So I want to print student, that is what class name something, then afterwards s1 dot name I want to print it. I want to check whether they are available or not. Okay, so let us print s1, s2 and okay, so see everything what I'm getting now, none. For three times we are getting none because three particular statements we have given it. Later on what I'll do, I'll go and change with respect to s1. Name is equals to, I'll say it as James. Done. Now same, let us, okay, copy this and let us paste here. After doing that operation, now you check out what I'm getting now, none, James and none. In the sense, student dot name will not changed. S1 dot name has been changed because of this line. Now this is what, okay, what you are doing, changing, okay, class variable into object variable now. Clear? Now changing that variable will not be a class variable now. It will be an object variable. That will be always different now. Now s2 dot name, yes, it will be changed. Clear? That is how it works. Got my point? That is what. Now in with respect to s1 it has changed. For s2 it always remains same. If you want to change with s2, you can go and, okay, once again you say s2 dot name, it will be changed. Now that will be converted into an object variable. Clear? That is what it happens. Hope everyone understood this. Okay, so that's all guys. That's all for this video. Clear? So this is what complete in-depth, okay, so story about your class variables and object variables, and try it out your different examples with respect to it, like how to update a class variable, how to update an object variable. Now you tell me how I want to update. Once again, s1 name, okay, s1, assume that I want to update one variable called age into s1. I can put like this 23. Now you tell me, now this age will be created for only s1. Does it will be created for a student? No. Does it created for s2? No. It will be created for only for what? s1. Now can I say this variable? What is this variable? Is object variable, which you are creating with respect to only the object. You are not creating for a class. If you create with respect to class, it will be shared. Done? Okay, remember that 2 points. I can say simplify 2 points. Okay, class variables, please understand, class variables always shared. Okay, always shared with respect to whom? Objects. Okay, then what about object variables? Objects variables will never be, okay, not shared. Those will never be shared. Okay, now you tell me. See, okay, if you modify a class variable by class name, then it will be effect for all the shared objects. If you modify an object variable with an object, always it will affect, okay, for only that particular object. Because it is not shared, it will never be affecting for others. It will not shade. That's the reason it will never be affecting for others. It will be, okay, remain changed for only one particular object. Okay, fine. That's all guys. Thank you for watching. Okay, this is about in detail, in depth, and please do like and share and click on bell icon, because next video, if you want to understand, please click on that. Thank you.